Woodward Sports, let's go!
Woodward Sports Network, let's go!
Woo-wee! It is Super Bowl weekend, and we had a blizzard last night. Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show. My name is Stick. To my right,
I'm the Cold Yeti Corey.
What'd you say?
Cold Yeti.
Cold Yeti.
Cold
Yeti. Oh, okay.
Off of that snow, man. That junk was crazy last night.
I thought you were talking about the cups. I was like, what the hell, a Yeti? And to my left.
It is Joey. You got no cool nicknames today.
But you got that cool t-shirt on,
I
though.
do got that t-shirt, though.
And then we got Art on producer cam and Adam right behind him. And, of course, the ever-present Fish making sure that everything at this ship called Woodward Sports is running smoothly. I don't know what we do without Fish. But are you guys ready? I mean, are you ready? It's Super Bowl weekend. How was your drive into work today, Joey?
Drive in, it took me about an extra 20 minutes or so, but it wasn't that bad.
Awesome.
It was about an extra 15 for me because, Detroit's not shoveling the snow.
Right.
So, yeah.
But once you get to Birmingham, these sidewalks are immaculate.
Yeah, they work around the clock in Birmingham. I need them over near 7 Mile.
We need them everywhere.
You see their machinery that they got cleaning up these streets. It is crazy.
I mean, we got a huge show planned today. Obviously, lots of Super Bowl talk, everything from Tom Brady to Scotty Miller to prop bets to final predictions. Plus, we have Jamie, the organizer of the Let Them Play Facebook page, is going to hop on. And Joey pulled some strings at Oakland University, and you got Coach Greg Kampe to hop on with us later on today.
Yep, that was my old should-have-been coach at Oakland University, but he cut me.
He cut you. Yeah, we got to talk about that. I wonder if he even remembers you.
Heck no, he does. Actually, I don't know, maybe. Because I'm probably the farthest from making the basketball team player that he's ever seen.
It's like, you were the worst tryout I've ever had. And then, Lions great, Lions legend. I mean, he's in the Ring of Honor for the Lions. Herman Moore is going to join us at 9 a.m. I'm very excited about that. Like, anytime you get to talk to a legend and somebody who was a part of the sole Lions playoff victory in the past 50 years, it's going to be fun to talk to Herman. So we got a big show planned today. But first, it's time for Joey's News.
So I'm going to throw this one back, guys. It's going to make us all feel old, but Super Bowl 40 took place here in Detroit 15 years ago.
God, that does make me feel old.
Damn. I'm trying to figure out what was I doing.
I was downtown drunk as hell with all the makeshift bars that they made, because all those buildings were still empty, so they were just throwing up folding tables and folding chairs and calling it a bar. It was
so
amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Detroit made their money that week, that's for sure.
Yeah.
In that game, the Steelers ended up winning. Hines Ward, the maybe soon-to-be Detroit Lions coach, was a part of that team, and then Detroit native Jerome Bettis.
Yes.
So a lot of Detroit on that game. And the Super Bowl obviously taking place this Sunday, in case you guys didn't realize. Going down at 6:30. I can't wait for this game. But what's cool about that is there will be some Detroit presence there in Tampa Bay for the Super Bowl, but with our losing team,
the
Detroit
Red Wings.
Red Wings. They're playing there tonight at 7 p.m., and this is our redemption game because we lost to the Lightning on Wednesday 5-1. So hopefully we could get a W there. That'd be the closest we ever get to winning a Super Bowl. The Pistons in Phoenix taking on the Suns 9 p.m. tonight. And then, like Stick said, let them play Michigan. They're letting us play, guys. Whitmer lifting the ban on Michigan indoor contact sports yesterday. Big news, and I'm so excited.
Yeah, and like we said, we're going to have Jamie on later. We got Greg Kampe coming on later to kind of talk about that. It's going to be a fun day around here.
Yes. So there's your Woodward Sports Update, and I just wanted to give a little shout-out to my homie Kevin over there hanging out in the beautiful downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. Well, listen, Valentine's Day is less than 10 days away. So, ladies, this is a spot where you go. One-stop shop. You could get anything for your man. I'm talking they got Carhartt gear, Thorogood boots, Detroit Grooming Company products, barware, everything. So go check them out, downtown Fenton. Shout out to Kevin. BridgeStreetExchange.com. If you use WSN, you get 15% off your order.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a local business, so please support local because that's what we do here at Woodward Sports.
Yes, sir.
All right, you guys ready to get into it?
Here we go.
Bum, 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 bum. Super Bowl time, baby. I mean, where do we start with this game that we haven't already kind of touched on, but who cares because it's the Super Bowl. It's the game we've been waiting for all season. It is the matchups of the GOAT and the baby GOAT, the most prolific tight end ever and the most prolific tight end ever. I mean, the wide receivers in this game, like, to me, I am so glad we got this matchup because it's everything I want in a Super Bowl rolled into one. So let's kick it off with the most important players. We talked about them a little bit yesterday, but we're talking Mahomes versus Brady. And I guess the simplest question I can ask, if you're going into the game on Sunday, who do you want leading your team?
I want Tom Brady leading my team. He's been there before. His 10th Super Bowl. He knows what it takes to get it done. He knows what to avoid in losing. And, you know, for some reason, he doesn't lose against great quarterbacks. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Tom Brady on this one. I think this is about to be his swan song. Everybody says that he's coming back. And, I mean, it's very well possible because he is hell-bent on playing to a 45. But at the same time, this is a storybook ending. You go on immediately after leaving your old team, you go on the road, and then you beat all those teams. You beat Breeze, you beat Rodgers, and then you're going to host the Super Bowl at home with going against Patrick Mahomes. You win that, you got to hang it up.
All right, so I know both you and Joey both think that he's going to ride off into the sunset after this Super Bowl, but Tom Brady actually spoke on this at press day. Art, you got that video? All right, throw that up real quick. Here's what Tom Brady has to say about next year.
As long as I'm playing, I want to improve and get better, and I think next year is going to be a lot better than this year. You know, I feel like I'll be in a much better place mentally. I'm going to train a lot better this year. Physically, next year I'll be in a better place. So I know as soon as this game ends, we're on the next season. So, you know, we'll get ready for this season and then start thinking about next year.
So as soon as this game ends, I'm on to the next season. Does that sound like a man that's ready to retire?
I mean, he could be just selling, you know, he doesn't want to get too much buzz around him. You know, people can change their mind. And you know, hey, if Giselle says she wants him home, you know, she's the breadwinner, really. So.
Man, I got to put so much money on this prop bet now. All right, so here we go. Tom Brady is going to win this Super Bowl, his 7th Super Bowl. Then he's going to retire. Then he's going to be coaching somewhere next season.
What is wrong with you guys? Why are you pushing the greatest of all time out the door when he's not showing any signs of fucking slowing down? Like, if this was Peyton Manning, I get it. Dude couldn't throw the ball past 5 yards when he was in Denver. But Tom Brady has shown progression over the entire season. I think he wants another year in this Bruce Arians offense.
You play because you have something to prove. What more does Tom Brady have to prove?
Well, I think Tom Brady's not playing because he has anything to prove. I think Tom Brady is playing because he just still can play at a high level as we're witnessing. I just think that at this point, after winning so much, really, what else are you playing for? I mean, don't go out there and get yourself hurt as you're getting older. I mean, he is 43. He's not, you know, Father Time is gonna catch him at some point. I just personally, as a fan of Tom Brady, I would like to see him go out on top, where you don't get the Michael Jordan came back to the Wizards because he was the president of the team and he had to clean up that mess that he had. But Michael Jordan didn't go out looking like Michael Jordan. Tom Brady could win this Super Bowl and go out looking like Tom Brady. You don't want to see him come back next year and something happens or he doesn't go out like he should.
Yeah, but Wizards Jordan was fat for like 3 years.
Man.
Tom Brady ain't fat at all.
That's what I remember, though. I remember Wizards fat Jordan.
Right.
And I don't like
fat
that.
Jordan, he was averaging 22 points a game.
But still, like the way you look at him.
He wasn't fat.
Antoine Walker was averaging 20 points a game. That dude was fat as hell.
But
He could shoot.
Djokovic is fat. Like, they call him the dad bod god, and he's out there killing it.
Nah, Jordan wasn't fat. He was just he was a small forward when he came back, so he just had a little bit more muscle on him.
Well, Art, can you crank up the bed real quick? Because I actually have a little touch of Tom Brady. I can actually see in the future, and this is Tom Brady after he wins the Super Bowl. This is his speech.
I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving.
The Wolf of Wall Street. I'm not fucking leaving. And that's what Tom Brady's going to do. He's going to stand in that locker room with his 7th Lombardi trophy, and he's going to say, you know what? He's going to actually do what LeBron said he was going to do when he went to Miami. Not 1, not 2, not 3, and he's going to count all the way to 8, 9, and 10 because there's no way this dude's retiring after this year.
Listen,
no way.
You ain't going to be saying that in a little bit, though.
Okay. I mean, I will bet both of you right now, and we can make it a prop bet.
I'm not placing no bets on
Oh, okay. So when it comes time to put the money where your mouth is,
All right, I'll do it. I'll do it.
All right, just $5. Let's do
I'll do
$5,
it.
Joey.
I'll do it.
All right,
I was
I'll
gonna
do
mess around. I was gonna be like, yeah, 10 G's. Let's do it.
Well-
10 G's.
10 G's. Mahomes and Brady have played each other 4 times. Their record, 2-2.
2-2.
Yep. 18 years, 45 days apart in their age. Isn't that wild?
Dude, that's legit like father like son.
Yeah, for real.
Like this is crazy, but it's like that's what's so impressive about Brady is for him to be at that level where people are still looking at him as probably the better quarterback, even though on paper, it's probably not. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah, because wasn't Mahomes like 6 or something when he won that first
6?
Yeah, when
Yep.
he won that first Super Bowl.
Yep.
How crazy is that?
He was 6. In their matchups, the completion percentage is pretty close. 65.4% for Mahomes, 63.3% for Brady, 348 yards a game for Mahomes, 300 for Brady. Here's where it gets a little different. 11 TDs, 3 interceptions for Mahomes, 6 TDs, 5 interceptions for Brady. So head-to-head, I mean, obviously they're pretty even win-wise, and Tom Brady got that playoff win, which kind of gives him an advantage of this, But the Chiefs absolutely whooped that ass in Week 12.
I mean, wasn't that a? I mean, on the statistics, yeah. I mean, wasn't that like a 27-24 game?
Yeah, but Tyreek Hill had like 200
like
yards,
230,
3
yeah,
touchdowns in the
230,
first half, 12 receptions. Like Tyreek Hill went absolutely crazy. And that kind of leads me to the next question. Which skill position players would you guys rather have?
Oh.
Would you rather go into the game with the Bucs skill position players, or would you rather go with the Chiefs?
Definitely go with the Chiefs. Even though the Bucs have more players at their disposal, the Chiefs have more dynamic players in there with fewer. Because I mean, just looking at it right now, the Bucs have Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. They have Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones, Gronk, but Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce
And Hardman.
It's like they neutralize all of that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going with the same. I mean, for me, this team, I mean, that's what's so funny about me and my thought process is I'll stand up for the Chiefs squad, but I won't bet against Tom Brady. It's so weird. Like, literally, this guy is on such a different level that when it comes time, like when you're looking at paper and you're looking at the roster, you say Chiefs, but then you say, oh, wait, Chiefs against anyone else but Tom Brady.
The reason is because I look at Tom Brady almost in the sense of like Tiger Woods. Like in big moments when Tiger Woods, when he was on the leaderboard, it looked like he could win, and he wore the red shirt on Sundays. When he was at his peak, you knew you were probably going to catch an L that Sunday if he had on that red shirt. Tom Brady's kind of the same thing in those big game moments. No matter how good everybody else has been, when it's in that moment, you're looking across the field and you see Tom Brady. It's like, damn,
Superman.
It's like playing Street Fighter. And you got to go up against M. Bison. Tom Brady's M. Bison.
All right, that's a fair comparison. Once again, I gotta disagree with both of you.
Oh, man.
Like, honestly, if I thought about this, because when you think weapons, immediately you think Kansas City, high-powered, scoring a lot of points. Like, they have weapons all over the field. But they don't have weapons all over the field. They create spacing because of 2 guys that they have, and really it's Kelce and Hill. I don't give a shit about Hardman. He's not doing anything for me. CEH started out the season okay, but really didn't do anything. They really didn't have a running game that I was super afraid of in Kansas City. So the more I looked at this, then I go over to the Tampa Bay side, and it's like they got Gronk at tight end. Okay, he's a little less than Kelce, but at one point he was Kelce, right?
At what point he was Kelce, but Gronk ain't Gronk right now. He's not old. He's not Gronk of old. Right now, he's older Gronk.
He had 7 touchdowns this year.
Man.
I'll take that out of a weak Gronk. Obviously Kelce though, 1,400 yards and 11 TDs. Little bit different scenario, but they use him more in the
Yes,
offense too.
that's exactly it.
If Gronk was in that Kelce role, I think he would do damn near the exact same thing for Kansas City.
It's possible. They're very possible.
And then I go to the wide receivers, and like I said, I don't care about Hardman. Like Hardman wouldn't even start for the Bucs. He would be like their 4th or 5th wideout because you got Godwin, you got Evans, and you got Brown. And then you go over, and if I take away Hardman, all you have is Hill. And yes, Hill is a dangerous weapon, but I'm showing up to the gunfight with the most bullets. I got Godwin, I got Evans, and I got Brown. So as much space as you could create with Hill, you got to cover the entire field for the Bucs.
It ain't about the most bullets, though. It's about the best gun and the best accuracy.
All right.
Tom Brady, baby.
That's what I'm saying, the
Tom
Bucs.
Brady, baby.
And then you go to running back. Like I said, I will take the duo of Fournette and Ronald Jones all day over CEH and whoever the hell else they got running the ball. Is it going to be Darrell Williams? Like, who's it going to be?
Hey, I mean, they got the. I'll say this: the Buccaneers have the most bullets, but freaking Patrick Mahomes is a damn bazooka. So anything that he knew, it doesn't matter. Even though they may have the more weapons, Patrick Mahomes does a lot more with the weapons that he has, in my opinion.
Than Tom Brady?
I mean, Tom Brady is Tom Brady. He's going to go out there and they're going to do well. I'm just saying that when it comes time, and I'm seeing it over and over, it's just something about the way Patrick Mahomes has a command of that offense where it's almost like with Brady. His guys do not think they're out of a game when they have him. So they rise to Mahomes' level. Even though they may not be, even though like somebody like Hardman, he wouldn't be a starter anywhere else. But with Mahomes, he rises his game to being that guy.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, you could take Hardman. You can have Hardman all day. I'm not
It's
even.
just another-
I don't want
it's
to
just
focus
another
just on him. It's just an
weapon.
example.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
if you take him away, all they have on weapons is Kelsey and Hill. And not like saying all they have is kind of a disservice to those two because they are incredible athletes and they did put up incredible numbers. But when I'm comparing back and forth, would you rather have Tyreek Hill, Godwin, Evans, and Brown? It's a pretty easy decision for me.
I would rather have them, but at the same time, it's like Mahomes makes those guys go. It's just so different. It's like, Brady probably wouldn't want those guys, but Mahomes makes them better than what they are. I just really can't explain it. It's just
It's a Patrick Mahomes receiver core
Yeah.
right there. That's really how it is. Because Brady, that's not really his style. Whereas with Mahomes, he's got the wheels, so he can move and he can do all these trickery plays. Mm-hmm. And I mean, when you're talking Super Bowl, if you get a couple plays that break out, which I'm sure will happen for some big yardage, that's going to be where it's really in their advantage.
Yeah, well, once again, I'm siding on the Bucs on this. I just think when I run down this roster and look at all of that, they just have more weapons, and they have Tom Brady, the absolute sniper. So he may be a bazooka, Tom Brady a sniper that'll get these guys the ball. What's up, Art?
Didn't they have Alex Smith and didn't accomplish anything?
Didn't accomplish anything.
That was an Adam take, by the way. I love when he says, hey, tell him. I'm like, get the hell over here and you say it because now I'm the enemy.
No, I want him to tell you something wrong one time, and then you say that, and then it's like...
No, Alex Smith won a playoff game, didn't he? So they didn't accomplish. It wasn't that they accomplished nothing with Alex Smith. Yeah, it's just that, obviously Mahomes took them to that next plateau where Alex Smith could never get them to. But yeah, Alex Smith accomplished that. I don't want to dog Alex Smith.
Don't dog me. It's
Poor guy
right
broke his
behind me.
damn leg and he's playing again.
I mean, it was his first season, too, on top of all that. So you got to give credit where due.
I mean, Mahomes is also doing something that Brady did when he was in New England. Some of those receivers, some of those players, nobody would care about them if they were on the other team.
Well, you don't want Troy Brown?
I don't want Troy Brown or no Branch or
Deion Branch.
Hogan or...
Don't you dare say bad things about Chris Hogan.
It's a few other guys, but when they had Tom Brady, they actually cashed out for other teams because he made them look better than what they actually were.
Right, but when I asked you which quarterback you'd rather have, you said Brady.
Oh, I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, it's just still I'm just not gonna bet against Tom Brady.
Well, let's get to a former hometown guy, Ndamukong Suh. He's playing in another Super Bowl. He played in one 2 years ago with Jared Goff in L.A. Are you going to be happy if Ndamukong Suh wins the Super Bowl? Are you rooting for Suh to win a Super Bowl, I guess is the real question.
Actually, I am. I think I'm rooting for Suh to win the Super Bowl more than I am for Brady because I believe Brady has he's accomplished it 6 times. He's already stamped himself as the GOAT. So it's like while they would both win, I'm rooting for Suh to win one more because granted, he did leave Detroit. But he left Detroit when he exercised his right as a free agent. He gave us his time. When he was here, he played his heart out. He instilled, along with Jim Schwartz, they brought an identity of toughness for that period of time to the team that we never even seen. Like, you knew Suh was out there on the field. Somebody's getting, their kneecaps, their hands stepped on, everything. So I'm rooting for him in that aspect because You know, he was a former Lion, did good here, and he also still shows love to the city.
That's the biggest thing. He still does show love to the city. He's not one of those that leave and are kind of really hating on the team. But to Corey's point, I mean, he was the last person that I remember for the Lions that kind of had that toughness to them on the field. I definitely look at Stafford as having that toughness, but he has toughness on the field. Sue, I feel like, had that toughness as a leader for the whole team, because with Sue, he motivated the whole team to kind of go out there and play hard. So that's why I'm cool with it, but it's going to be Tom Brady, the main one for me.
He has such an edge that was just different. Like, that whole defense, they kind of shaped their identity around Sue, if you ask me.
Yeah, and honestly, Sue's been great, speaking very highly of Detroit over the past couple days, not only when the Goff trade went through, but also Dan Campbell. Here's a couple quotes from him. Dan is a great guy, had an amazing time with him being our interim coach at the Dolphins, without question a player's coach, and been able to stay in touch with him when he was in New Orleans, obviously playing them twice in the past 2 years. And then he talked about Goff. Campbell just got a great quarterback in Jared Goff, who I won the Super Bowl with, or who I went to the Super Bowl with. Sorry, they didn't win 2 years ago. So I'm excited to see what they're going to be able to do in Detroit. So, you know, I got a soft spot for Sue. I loved him when he was here. Like, that's the type of football I like to be played. I like smash mouth, mean, in your face. You know, we talked about it a little bit yesterday with Terry Foster. We need bad guys on the team. You know, like I earlier in the year I did a Facebook Live, and it was just me talking about, like, we need some JUCO players that, like, shanked a guy that couldn't make it to the D1, but they still are D1 talent, but they got that dog in them, that anger. They'll come up and hurt people. And I feel like sometimes our management structure has always wanted to go the nice guy. And nice guys are great. They're awesome. But on the football field, you need that absolute animal to go in there and take those hits and create chaos.
Question.
Answer.
They have it. The Lions now have Jared Goff, who is one of his former quarterbacks, a quarterback that he said was the best QB he ever had.
Yep.
Probably outside of
That
Tom
was
Brady.
before he played with Tom Brady.
Before he played with Tom Brady.
That's okay.
They have Dan Campbell, who is his interim coach, who he spoke highly of, and he still has high Detroit ties. Let's say the Buccaneers go ahead and win this Super Bowl. You think Sue will come back?
You know what?
That's a good one.
I think he would. I honestly think he would. Because when he left, it was his mission to get a Super Bowl. Like, I think he knew the writing was on the wall. It wasn't going to happen here. And once he had that to, like, cement his legacy, I think he definitely would come back, and I would welcome him with open arms.
Wow. I'm not saying I wouldn't welcome him with open arms, but if you're winning, well, then again, Tom Brady ain't going to be there, so you're right.
I would run in the airport in slow motion with arms open as Ndamukong Suh ran at me, and we would embrace in Detroit Metro, and I'd say, welcome back, baby, welcome back.
No, because if you did that, he'd knock you out from his impact, and then you would get up and
apparently I would die if he touched me, according to Art. So, yeah, I'm rooting for Ndamukong Suh. I love the guy, and that's how you're supposed to play football. This is an interesting point. And Baligian kind of brought it up yesterday on the Baligian and Bell show, and then I started to do a little bit more searching on it. Do you think Tom Brady has outed Bill Belichick as just an average coach?
Yes. As crazy as this sounds, yes. You look at what happened when Tom Brady leaves a team that has been in the playoffs, if not Super Bowl, year after year after year after year, to not make the playoffs in that first season. And then Tom Brady to go to this team that hasn't made the playoffs since 2007, makes the playoffs, takes them to the Super Bowl. Come on. Even if they don't win this game, he still does.
I think that it's easy to say just off of the first year without looking at the real context of it. First off, the context is that the Patriots mortgaged their future the past couple of years. They sold out everything to win for those last few Super Bowl runs and titles that they got. That's not the words of outside the mouth of Bill Belichick, and it's true because they did not have enough money to go out and get any more talent because of that. And if you compare the Patriots roster this past season to the Buccaneers roster this past season, it's apples and oranges. It's no way that Tom Brady might have led those Patriots to the playoffs, but he wouldn't be in the Super Bowl with freaking Jacoby Myers and Damian Bird. Is
You don't even have to remember. They don't even remember. They're already off the team.
Yeah, so it's like if they it's kind of hard to say that. Let's say that they had equal amount of weapons, then and they didn't get to it, then I'd be like, damn, maybe it is Brady. But that roster the Patriots have right now is so trash that I just don't want to off the first year be like it's all Brady. But I will say this: great coaches need great players, and Tom Brady leaving the locker room, it is going to be something that's missed. But I just don't want to say Bill Belichick is an average coach because Tom Brady did have the benefit of having him as a coach.
Well, let's look at the numbers, shall we?
Dive in deep.
Belichick won with Brady. His record was 249-75. That's a 77% win percentage. It's an average of 12 wins per season, okay? Mm-hmm. Belichick without Brady, what do you think his record is? Any guesses?
55-60.
55-60? I'll give you, let's just say it's around 50 games. So do your record around that.
Okay.
What do you think Belichick's record is without Tom Brady?
Somewhere like around, 20-something, 30, I don't know.
Okay.
That's my number.
24-27.
Ooh.
He has a losing record without
47.
Tom Brady.
I mean,
249-75 with Tom Brady, losing record without Tom Brady.
I mean, yeah, because his head coaching stints before Brady weren't that really long, and then when he got him, he had him for damn near 2 decades.
Yeah. I mean, when you have 77% winning percentage with somebody and below 500 without somebody, that is a large disparity.
But he had him for 2 decades, so he didn't really have that much of a coaching run without him.
I get it, but numbers are numbers, man. I can only go by what his record is without the guy on the team. And without the guy on the team, Belichick would be fired from the Lions.
Yeah.
He's a below 500 coach, which is crazy to talk about because we view him as the greatest, one of the greatest minds of all time. But then Tom Brady this year, if Tom Brady never makes the Super Bowl this year or Tom Brady doesn't win a playoff game this year, we're not even having this conversation. They're both kind of they needed each other.
Really?
And I still think they did need I still think at that time they did need each other because I definitely believe that there were. First off, I'm not going to go with that whole Tom Brady was a system quarterback garbage that everybody likes to spew out. That is just total nonsense because every coach runs a damn system, idiots. So that's the one thing I want to say about that. But it's a marriage that goes together between great players and their coaches, and you need the talent. I just think that off of 1 year and missing the context of the Patriots have a really bad roster.
But like you pointed out earlier, they had a bad roster with Tom Brady. I mean, look at
makes them a
Deion
good
Branch.
roster.
Look at the guys we were listing earlier.
Those guys weren't bad. They just weren't
good.
As they weren't great. These guys are bad. At least a Deion Branch or a Troy Brown. They went to other teams, were able to be starters. These guys would be out the league.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember Deion Branch tearing up the league without Tom Brady.
He didn't really tear up the league with him. He was just good.
He was just good. So that's an interesting conversation that I thought Baligian brought up yesterday. And at first when you hear that, Belichick's not as good of a coach, you just kind of scoff at it. This is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. But then you dig into the numbers and it's oh my God. That is quite a stark difference between having your quarterback and not having your quarterback. What's up, Art?
Adam's afraid to get on the mic for some reason. I have no idea why. So something Cleveland Browns. There you go.
That's what the Cleveland.
I don't know what he's trying to tell me what to do when I'm doing the show. It's hey, make sure that you mention the Cleveland Browns and Bill Belichick. Get your ass over here and talk yourself.
Yeah, Adam, get on the mic. Come
on, Adam, get over here.
What did you mean by the Cleveland Browns?
Look how pissed he is right now.
When Belichick was with the Browns, that he didn't have a great record? Is that what you were referring to? No, you just want to move on with the Browns? Well, either way,
why are you not talking?
When Belichick was with the Browns, he didn't really tear it up. He wasn't awful either. He was about a 500 coach there too, I believe, wasn't he? Wasn't he about 500 there too? A little above it?
He only wants to make his points when I'm his messenger, so then I can get merged.
Wait. Art is the carrier pigeon.
What's going on? Why don't you want to hop on camera?
Yeah, what is going on?
What do we trying to do our show? We want you on our show.
He goes, so you could do the show.
We got to give a shout out to Grow Green, growgreenmi.com for all your grow room needs, soil, nutrients, everything they got. And tomorrow they are doing like a seed bank. You get to go there and all these exotic seeds that you can buy for your grow. And it's only stuff that you can get there tomorrow from 9 to 5. It's Grow Green in Whitmore Lake. And some of the strands they're going to have, I'm gonna go there and make sure I start my grow in my basement again. Yeah, I gotta get back to it, especially with Grow Green having their great prices and how they do their dank deals every day. So Grow Green MI, make sure you mention Woodward Sports when you call or go there, and they'll hook you up with a free T-shirt. So shout out to Grow Green.
Hey, so I looked up those numbers. So with the in the 5 seasons with the Browns, Bill Belichick was 36-44.
Okay, so he had a losing record there too.
Damn.
So yeah, I mean.
Listen, when you look at it, I mean, yes, there's a lot of factors because to Corey's point again, Brady and Belichick were together for how long was it?
About really close to
2 decades almost.
Close to 2 decades.
So when you look at that, it's like then he goes for 1 year. It's not enough time to really see it, but I mean, Brady seemed to do just fine without him. Yeah, he had some good weapons, but he seemed to do just fine without him.
I'll say this much: it will the argument, in my opinion, will grow more legs if next year Brady's back, not in the Super Bowl, but in the playoffs, and the Patriots miss the playoffs for the 2nd straight season.
Yeah.
I think that's when the argument will like, okay, now this is 2 seasons that Brady has left, and you have not been able to rebuild this roster, and now you're missing 2 straight playoffs. I think that's when the argument will be like, all right, you got to give it to
Let me ask you, what's harder? Is it harder to be the coach like Belichick and lose your quarterback and have to do fine without him, or for Brady to lose your coach that supposedly got you everywhere that you are and then have to go to a new coach?
I don't think Bruce Arians is a bad coach.
He's a great coach.
He's a great coach. I mean, he has 2 Super Bowls as an assistant, so he knows what it takes to win. So I think when you're going from a great coach, well, a Hall of Fame probably coach, more than likely, to a good to great coach, then the drop off isn't that much. Now, if you're talking about like Tom Brady going from Bill Belichick to Matt Patricia, then
serious question. If that were to be the case, do you think like Brady would all of a sudden not be as great?
With what?
If he had like a Matt Patricia coach or something.
No, I think Brady is the guy. I mean, it's just like, when I was talking to Joik about Peyton Manning, like when Peyton Manning goes to a team, he immediately becomes half head coach, half offensive coordinator, and he becomes a coach, and that's what Bruce Arians has done with Tom Brady over the course of this year. We got a lot more Super Bowl talk coming up. Let's take a 30-second break, and when we come back, Jamie from the Let Them Play Facebook page is on with us, and we just got to pop some champagne for her.
Can we rename this group? They are letting us play.
Yeah, they let us play. So let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with Jamie.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We're recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
So, normally we would just be crazy Super Bowl heavy today, but kind of the biggest sports news story in Michigan that's been taken on the past month or so has been this Let Them Play. It's been a Facebook group. It's spearheaded by a lady named Jamie, and Joey and I were lucky enough to be out at the rally on Saturday, and this has really picked up steam to a point where Governor Whitmer yesterday, Joey, I'm going to let you go ahead and tell everybody.
So Governor Whitmer came out yesterday and said that Michigan indoor contact sports will resume starting on Monday. So we got to clap it up. And I know she's not going to take credit for this because she's going to say, we did it, Joey, we did it. Jamie freaking did it.
Welcome, Jamie. How you doing this morning?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, guys.
So, Jamie, how do you feel? Because obviously it has been a couple months of fighting for what we all know and think is right, which is having sports back. And, I mean, obviously the whole state of Michigan thinks it's right now as well because they lifted this ban.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely, yesterday was I could probably say one of the greatest days of my life. I've had a lot of really awesome days in my life, but yesterday, because so many kids were depending on it, made it one of the best days in my life. Because what a struggle. I mean, we've been struggling with this for months, having to fight so many times. And this fight was just such a battle because, I mean, to hire a lawyer and then to raise that money so quickly, not many people can do what our group did because you need a lot of money. A lawyer, whether you go to court or not, whether you do that final step, that's a huge cost. So for us to raise that much money and then tackle this and then to have it actually be heard, and what I was so afraid of was these kids at the rally, and not having their voices heard was going to devastate me because I thought they're really going to give up on ever speaking up again if this doesn't happen. So that scared me to death. I'm just so happy for these kids.
How empowered do you feel right now, Jamie? Like, you got to feel like you could take on anything in the world because you kind of took a mom role in this. And I remember at the rally, you're saying, like, I feel like a mom to 100,000 kids right now. And to see being able to move mountains, I saw your Facebook video yesterday. Like, you just have to feel that progress can be made with the right people and the right message.
Exactly. That was the struggle. It was hard. The message is always political. Everything's always political. I'm pretty vocal with my politics. And so that came into play where they tried to use that against me and make me look crazy, when I just have an opinion and I'm allowed to have an opinion. And it may not be exactly what somebody else's opinion is. And so the media just takes it and tries to divide everybody. So that was the struggle, is the divide in America right now. The divide even amongst kids, amongst races, against obviously politics, but even your faith. They tried to make fun of me for my faith. And it's like everything was so divided that it was hard to overcome that and bring people together. So when we brought thousands of people together, and then we wanted some groups that wanted to bring hundreds of flags, and American flags or not, I am a huge patriot and I love the American flag, but I didn't want anything there to make anything divisive. And so that we got into a squabble with another group that was angry that we wouldn't let them bring flags. And then you had the mask thing. You had the mask haters, which I am one of them. I am part of that group. Sorry. But having to put those kids in masks that day was very hard for me to do. We got hate for that. So it's like the divisiveness. To overcome that and to get everyone on the same page, we eventually got pretty much everyone on the same page. It was hard to find someone on the other side. So that was the biggest, battle, and we conquered it. So that's how we won this, is we had everyone.
I know, Jamie, you mentioned that everybody thinks you're crazy, and we do too. But we think you're crazy freaking awesome for what you did and what you accomplished, and everybody just checking in right now. I just want everybody to share this post right now and just thank Jamie for what she did, because truthfully, for what you did as such a brave, I'm going to say, mom of Michigan, it's amazing, because we have been fighting for months to get this back, and now we finally got this.
I couldn't be happier, and I'll take the role. I mean, it's being in the public eye, if you would call it that, is scary. And so taking that on, I will say I couldn't have done it without just God leading me and saying, Jamie, you're going to do this whether you're like it or not. Shut up, go. And I'm like, okay. But it's something that without, like, and I will say, it wasn't just me, that's for sure. I'm going to keep saying that because, Joey, you're just you being there took our rally to a whole other level. And the people that stood up, and the huge show, and Garrett, and the Red Wings, Darren, and then the NFL players, and it was crazy. And so my board members were so incredible, and I couldn't have done it without them. Our lawyer was phenomenal. Todd Covert, definitely couldn't have done it without him. The huge donors, there's so many people that helped. Then the superintendents and athletic directors that finally stood up for their kids was amazing, because I've said before how disappointed it is that the ones that didn't made it political and wouldn't stand up for these kids, and the ones that did, I'm so just proud of them. The coaches, everybody.
Yeah, and I saw some people yesterday after it went through, like, they're not 100% happy with everything because, fans are still going to be limited in the stands and all that. I just want to say to those people, it's not about the fans in the stands. None of this has ever been about the fans in the stands. It was about letting the kids get back on the field and just have that release of a normal childhood.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll be honest with you, I was more happy yesterday than I was expecting another battle. That's why I wasn't doing what I called my, celebration post yet, because I was looking for another battle with the spectators, because we had to battle that last year. We had to fight that fight, and that was a long fight. We eventually got spectators, but I was looking for that battle. I was looking for a battle with the masks, which that's still in our future, I think. But we had to win. We had to pick our battles. We can't expect to have won 10 out of 10 things, especially with who we're going up against. That's not in her personality to give us what we wanted. So I couldn't believe that we got 2 spectators, because I knew that we were going to fight that if that wasn't coming. And then the fact that we're hearing that the wrestlers don't have to wear masks, which is incredible news. The cheerleaders don't have to, because how do you cheer? That's so dangerous, so dangerous. So I'm glad that they recognize that the cheerleaders, they cannot have these things on their face. Now, basketball players wearing masks is extremely dangerous. You don't have any oxygen and you're running. So it's so ignorant. But we heard that there's a possibility that if you don't want a mask, then you can do a test. And some people are, my son was in the pilot program for the testing. I don't like it. I don't think healthy children should be testing. It's ridiculous. But it wasn't the kind that goes like all the way up to your brain. They just go right in your nose. And I don't like it, but I would prefer that over masking. I am livid about masks. So
hey, one thing we all like though, Jamie, is that we get to play, and that's the biggest thing. And I need you now to change the Facebook group to "They Let Us Play,"
or "We're playing."
We're playing. And someone just sent me a link too from M Live of Whitmer coming out saying that the "Let Them Play" rally did not influence the return. And truthfully, when you look at that, it's like, come on, what's the point of coming out and saying that? Because when you see the unity that we had on Saturday, that was the most beautiful thing that I've ever been a part of. And I just want to congratulate everybody that is getting to play starting on Monday. And Jamie, we thank you for leading this pack, and we thank you for joining the show again.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I'm so thankful for our new friendship. So I'll talk to you guys soon.
Yeah. Love you, Jamie. Thank you so much. And, like she says, unfortunately, even when you're doing the right thing, people want to judge you for things that are outside the realm you're even talking about. But I don't know much about Jamie personally, right? We never met her before this.
Right.
But I agree with her on this, and I'll stand with her on this specific issue. So whatever else she may believe in, that's fine. She can have those beliefs. But on this one, we're united no matter what. So
exactly.
I'm glad, Joey.
Right.
I'm really proud of you, honestly, for jumping on board of this and getting outside your comfort zone, too, and letting people judge you for your beliefs, because you don't normally get that, and we've talked about that.
Yeah, I don't. And, I mean, when you look at it from the outside in, I mean, you look at what we accomplished in these last couple of months, and now, I mean, she comes out and says that, hey, sports are going to be back. This just shows the beauty of being an American, because if you have that right to go out and you have that right to protest and stand up for what you think is right, and this one we ended up winning.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing, and I'm so happy for the kids that get to get back to playing starting on Monday. And hopefully this just gets them back right on the mental health plat.
And selfishly, I'm happy high school sports are back because, I love high school basketball. So I can't wait to watch the teams play again. Thank you to everybody from the Let Them Play Facebook group for supporting us, too, and joining the Woodward Sports Network, liking our page, hopping on these Facebook Lives that we do. We appreciate you guys for checking us out. And we do this every morning from 8 to 10. And we're going to hop on important issues when we have to hop on important issues. And this was one of them. So, Art, let's take 15 seconds and we'll be right back.
Before we do that, though, can we do something special?
Yeah, what you want to do?
Can we give away $100 to people that share this post?
Yeah, sure.
We should.
Go ahead.
I feel like, listen, if you share this post, I feel like you deserve to be entered to win $100 from Woodward Sports.
That's easy.
And it's super easy. So just share this post, and we'll pick a winner at the end of the show. We're on, what time you think? Like 9:55?
Yeah, something like that.
Let's do that.
So
share.
We're doing that. Okay, so just share this Facebook Live. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and comment. If you're on Twitter, make sure you retweet, because that's where we're live at this morning. And you're qualified to win that $100. We'll give it away. Joey just pulling money out of his pants today.
It.
All right.
I took this from Stick's wallet.
Hey, give me my wallet back.
I found Stick's wallet. Hey, it's Joey from Woodward Sports, and I am here in downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys and ladies. This is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking thorough good boots, best boots ever. They have barware. They got the Stormy Cromer hats. They got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15% off.
So, that was so awesome to have her on. What an inspiration for anybody who like wants to believe in something and take a stand. Like, it's just crazy to see that one person started a Facebook page. They got like 40,000 people on it, and she changed the game.
So I think of Big Sean's one man can change the world.
One woman.
And it's so true. I mean, I'm proud of everybody that was a part of this, and I'm excited to see the kids play.
And man, I think shout out to you guys too. That was a really big stance both of you took, and just look at all the publicity you guys helped draw to the cause. It was bravo to you too.
Yeah, I mean, we were lucky enough to hop on the wave right before it crested, essentially. You know, like, they had been building that momentum for so long, but then once a Juwan Howard jumps on, once a Coach Kampe, who we're going to have on later in the show, hops on, it really just validates what everybody's thinking. It shows unity, and that's really what it does. It's like, listen, this isn't a partisan issue. This is something we all agree on. Let the kids play. Speaking of the kids playing, Super Bowl.
That's this weekend, ain't it?
Grown-ass men playing, but it's the Super Bowl, and, you know, we've been talking about it pretty much all morning, and I kind of want to get into, like, who do you guys think is going to be the MVP of this game? And if you don't want to pick the typical quarterback, like, who do you think is the sneaky player? Because sometimes that happens, like an Antoine Randall L. or something like that. Sometimes it happens where the guy you least expect is the MVP. Corey, who you got as MVP?
Well, can I do a who I think is going to win an MVP, and then I do a sneaky MVP?
You can do both, yeah.
All right, cool.
No,
so
there's no rules here, Corey.
All right, so for my sneaky MVP, if they win, it's going to be Travis Kelce.
Okay.
That would be my sneaky MVP. But just in general, who I think is going to be MVP, and just kind of almost tipping my hand on who I really think is going to win the game, the GOAT. All that stuff I said about the weapons and everything.
You really think Chad Henne's going to get MVP?
He is not the GOAT.
Absolutely. Because Chad, you seen what Chad Henne did in those 4 minutes of fame. But no, it's almost too much of it's almost too good to be true. That's why I don't want to pick Tom Brady, because it's almost too good to be true. Like, you can't even script this.
Right.
But I'm not going to bet against him, so I'm going to go Tom Brady as a Super Bowl MVP. I think that when the money is on the line, he just turns it on. I've never seen anything like it.
We're getting some people in the chat right now, and if you want to put your guess for MVP in, go ahead. We got Kelce, Shaq Barrett, which is a very interesting pick.
Wow.
Mahomes, Tom Brady, Sue!
That'd be so cool.
Then everybody's saying anything is possible because of Joey, damn it.
Steven had an interesting one, and that would be so hilarious if Antonio Brown, through everything he went through, wins the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, you want to talk about poetic, like Tom Brady walking off the field, Antonio Brown winning Super Bowl MVP and then just quitting football.
Now that's, you know what, I'm gonna actually place money on that, just on a dumb whim, because if that happens, y'all gonna see me in here just cheesing Monday morning. So crazy.
I feel like you just got to have like the craziest catches or touchdown. I mean, it's not a stat thing. Like, you got to have plays that just stand out. So, I mean, I'm not going to say a chance, but go ahead, put your money there.
And don't forget, we got Herman Moore joining us in about 12 minutes, former Lions great. Joey, who do you got at MVP?
I mean, if I have to go against the obvious with Tom Brady, I'm going to probably go with Travis Kelce as well, because you look at his numbers throughout the season, he's the only other player that you could look at on this field that has a fair opportunity of having the stats that could really have an impact to this game.
I like that.
I mean, basing off numbers, I would go with that.
All right, so I got 2 sneaky MVPs, both coming from the Bucs.
Okay.
One, Scotty Miller.
MVP?
MVP Scotty Miller. He's been running his mouth this whole time about he's faster than Tyreek Hill. Tom Brady falls in love with those little over-the-middle type wide receivers who are quick, like the Edelmans, like the Amendolas.
Wes
Welker. And I could see Tom Brady being like, all right, they're going to lock down Godwin. They're going to lock down Evans. They're going to lock down Gronk. They'll probably lock down AB. That's going to leave Scotty Miller running all over the Super Bowl stadium.
2 catches, 36 yards, and 1 touchdown last game.
That's right. Game changer, Scotty Miller.
I might, you know what? I might put 5 on Scotty Miller.
But you could see that happening, right?
You went in like 2 G's on that bet.
The thing is, it's kind of weird. In Super Bowls like these, the guy you would expect to win the MVP doesn't win the MVP. Like, let's be real. Who went into the Eagles and Patriots Super Bowl and said Nick Foles is going to be the Super Bowl MVP?
Nick Foles' mom. That's not the only one.
That's my baby.
Hey, I trust you, Nicky. Go get him. But he won the MVP, so good for him.
I mean, you look at like a Julian Edelman winning it. Like, there are a lot of players where it's like, damn.
Right. Every once in a while, there's that sneaky guy. And then, like, he wouldn't be as sneaky as Scotty Miller, but I would love to see Gronk win Super Bowl MVP. Like, the amount of partying that guy would do in the offseason and just how much I love Gronk's whole persona. For him to win the MVP this season with not being Gronk, it'd be awesome.
You ready for this?
That should be, what should be the real prop bet? Who's going to tear up Tampa Bay more if they win? Travis Kelce or Rob Gronkowski?
Ooh, Gronk.
Who's going to outpower you who?
Gronk. You can't outparty Gronk.
You ready for this?
Yes.
He would be the first tight end in history to win the MVP in the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's an interesting stat.
I'm looking through all the previous Super Bowl MVPs. He would be the first one.
So there's a good chance of a tight end winning the Super Bowl MVP, period. Either Kelce or Gronk. I love that.
Oh my God! You know what? I might not be here Monday. I might have to just go catch a soul plane flight.
Soul plane flight.
And if you don't know, the soul plane is Spirit.
Joey.
And head down there to Tampa because I need to be able to be down there when they party.
So let's get into some prop bets, okay? Fish has had some awesome prop bets this week, and they're more fun prop bets, like is Giselle going to tweet about a wide receiver and stuff like that. These are actually in-game prop bets where you're betting on the player, like for who's going to score the first touchdown for the Chiefs. If you're a betting man, Travis Kelce is plus 600, Patrick Mahomes is plus 2,200,
wow,
and Darrell Williams is plus 1,600.
I'm actually going to go Patrick Mahomes. What I see is that he's going to lead them down there in the red zone. Get in the red zone. He don't see anything. Going to scramble, get in there, and then zone, get a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm shocked his payoff is more than Darrell Williams. I really am.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Hardman, taking it to the house. First play of the game.
Oh, first play of the game.
Hey, how much do I win if that happens?
Yeah, Hardman's not listed here, but I'll have to
he's not even listed up there.
Well, these are the top 3 that I got so far. So first touchdown for the Bucks, we got Gronk at plus 1,800, Mike Evans at plus 1,200, and Brait, who came up limping yesterday, or had a sore back yesterday, and is kind of on the injured list right now. He's plus 1,600.
No Fournette.
Fournette is plus 600.
Okay.
So who you guys taking to score the first touchdown for the Bucks?
I'm gonna go with Godwin.
Godwin, okay.
I'm gonna go with Fournette.
Fournette, okay. So you'd be plus 600. Let's see. Super
you
Bowl
going with?
MVP for me for the Bucks.
First touchdown for the Bucks.
I'm gonna go Gronk. I'm gonna ride the Gronk train this
You want
time.
the tight ends on everything.
Yeah, well, I look at those wide receivers and how do you cover the outside while covering a tight end over the middle for both of these teams?
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem that each of them have to solve. Super Bowl MVP, we just kind of talked about this. Patrick Mahomes is plus 100. Kelce is plus 1,000. So if
does it show Brady?
Brady is not on this list right now. Patrick Mahomes passing yards. Here we go. Over under 329.5. What are you guys taking? The over is minus 120.
I'm going under.
You going under?
Yeah, I'm going under.
So you don't think he's going to reach like 340, 350?
Nah, I think he's going to have a multiple touchdowns, but I think he's going to have somewhere like around just shy of 300, something like 280, 290.
I'm with Corey too. I have under 300 on mine.
Under 300.
Uh-huh.
Well, we talked about it in the 4 matchups that these two have had. He's averaging 348 yards a game. And last time they played, him and Tyreek Hill damn near had 330 yards between the two of them. So
I think the Bucs defense is going to strap up though in this game. They know this is the one game that they got to sell out.
Yep.
Sell out to win. So
and I think that is the biggest underrated factor in this game is the Bucs defense.
Yeah.
Everybody hasn't really given them their due this entire season, but on every level of that defense, they have, I don't want to say greatness, but goodness. Yeah, this is a good way to put it.
Yeah, they're good. They're a good defense who is capable of having great moments.
Yeah.
And I think that is going to be on full display. Like for one game, if I had to pick a defense in one game, I'm picking the Bucs defense.
Yeah, we really haven't talked about Kansas City's defense at all.
Because I mean, Sue.
I mean, they got some guys over there. Of course, they got the Honey Badger. They got a few more pieces, but it's like Bucs they got guys everywhere.
Everywhere. Like that's what I'm saying. You got Jason Pierre-Paul, you got Sue, then you move to the next level, you got White there, like you got Murphy Bunting over there kicking ass as a second-year rookie. Jeez, I don't know, man. It's tough to pick against the Bucs.
I want to switch my Super Bowl MVP actually to Tyreek.
Tyreek?
Yeah, because I mean you're right. I mean, you look at that performance he had last game, and I feel like he's gonna ball out again.
You think the Bucs didn't learn from Week 12?
It's not about learning or not learning. It's just about can you stop it. He's just too damn fast.
He is fast.
He's too athletic. That motion, just everything that he does.
You hit it on the head with the motion, man.
It's and both of them do it too. Between Tyreek and Hardman, so it's like they're just a dangerous team. And you look at damn near 300 yards last time they saw each other. That is freaking MVP statistics right there.
Yeah.
Hey, look. So on my bookie, they have Scotty Miller as a plus 9,000 for Super Bowl MVP. So a $5 bet gets you $450.
I'm doing
taking that.
I'm doing that all day. You guys want to pull our money together and go Scotty Miller all in?
Damn.
MVP for the Super Bowl?
You know what I just thought of? This is kind of going to be my hack. I don't even know if I can really do hacks like that on sports betting, but what if you just put $5 on like a few different options?
That's not a hack. That's called strategery.
You're going to come up on top, right?
Yeah. I mean,
you don't know.
I mean, yeah, that's a big one right there.
It's betting for a reason. Like
unless Chad Henne actually does come in and win the Super
Oh,
Bowl
what's
MVP.
Chad Henne? Super Bowl MVP, that's probably like plus 1.7 million.
Right. So let's get Tom Brady passing attempts over under 44.5.
Over under 44.
The over is plus 270 on this.
Yeah, 41 last time, so I'm gonna go with.
I'm going under.
I'm gonna go with over.
Over?
I'm gonna go with over.
Yeah, oof. I think Vegas is right at this one. Like this is a perfect line for Vegas because, like you said, only 41 pass attempts last time, but they're playing the Chiefs, and if the offense gets out of control and they get behind, there's gonna be a lot of passing attempts.
Yeah,
I'm still gonna proceed with caution and go with the under because I think the Bucs are going to try to play a ball control game and keep that offense off the field. So I don't think they're going to be passing a ton unless they get down early.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen. I think to your point, Stick. I think that the Bucs running game, they're going to pound that. They're going to pound the ball a lot.
Yeah.
They're not going to put they're not going to put Brady in a situation where he has to win the game for them by throwing too much.
Yeah. Well, here's our boy Travis Kelce. I mean, everybody's high on Travis Kelce. He's great tight end. Over under for his receptions, 7.5.
Ooh. That is so spot on. Because I was going to.
I hate them for that one.
Yeah.
That's dirty.
Well, what are you guys taking, man?
I'm going.
Gun to your head. You got $100. What you putting it on?
Damn. Because I think he's going to have 7 on the nose.
Okay. So you're taking the under.
Yeah.
Okay. Joey, what you thinking? I mean, he pretty much gets 7 receptions every game.
I know. And Super Bowl. Brady's going to. Mahomes is going to hit him. I'm thinking over.
You're thinking over. Okay. Well, the over is minus 135. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm going to take the over on that, too, because, like I said, when I was dissecting their roster, and it's like, listen, yes, they're explosive. Yes, they have all these weapons. But when you really break it down, they have 3 weapons: Mahomes, Kelce, and Hill. That's it. The other guys are parts. They're not weapons.
Yeah, but Hill's getting like 25 of those receptions.
Exactly.
So how many are left?
That's the question. And how wide open is Kelsey going to be over the middle? Mike Evans, over under 4.5 catches.
I'm going to go under.
4.5?
Yeah.
I'm going to go over.
Okay.
I'm going to go over on that.
I mean, that's what's tough with the Tom Brady offense is he spreads the ball around so much. Going into the season, when we were doing our fantasy football predictions, like I ranked Mike Evans and I ranked Chris Godwin higher individually, but I said as a unit, Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones are a better wide receiver core, and that's kind of still how I feel. And Brady, with him spreading the ball around, you never really knew who was going to get a heavy volume of passes. I'm going to go with the under on this for Mike Evans.
Yeah, the last time they played, and also, too, I would have lost that last, but if we're going off the last game, because Travis Kelce had 8 receptions in their last matchup.
Ooh.
So that's interesting. But right now, still going off of their last matchup, Mike Evans had 3 receptions in their last game they played.
But he had the touchdowns on that one.
He had 2 touchdowns.
2, yeah.
He had 2 touchdowns, but
that's not the bet.
That's not the bet.
That's not the bet.
So
this ain't fantasy football.
Yeah, they have a lot of weapons where they can spread that ball around, and I don't think that Mike Evans is like a Tyreek Hill where you have to get the ball to him to win it.
Right. Well, now we get into the rushing game. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, or Helaire. I love how people say that, like enunciate the E on it. Over under 26.5 rushing yards. I mean, I think you could get that on one play.
Yeah, that's I'm going over.
Yeah,
especially on the bet. Yeah, 2 breakaways.
Yeah, I mean they do rotate their running backs.
Yes.
Obviously, Le'Veon Bell is there, but Darrell Williams, however you say it. But I think they're going to lean on the rookie a little bit more in this Super Bowl.
He might, like you say, he might get that on one play of the first drive. So yeah,
I got one quick prop bet. Who's getting more rushing yards between Clyde and Patrick Mahomes?
Clyde. I'm going Clyde.
Yeah, I'm going Clyde too.
All right, well, let's do this. We got Herman Moore on the line, so let's take a quick 15-second break, and when we come back, we have one of the greatest Lions wide receiver, if not the greatest Lions wide receiver, ready to go on the Morning Woodward Show right here on the Woodward Sports Network. We'll be right back. Maz, we're trying to do a show here, buddy.
Yes, it's company.
It's Woodward Sports. Welcome to the show. We got Herman Moore on the line, which I'm very excited about. I grew up watching Lions football. The last time that I've ever seen them win a playoff game, and the last playoff win that they've had in the past, I feel like 100 years, Herman Moore was a part of that team. Herman is on the line right now. Herman, how you doing this morning, man?
Hey, you know what? I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
It's always great to talk to you. I had the opportunity. You came in here a couple weeks ago, and can you turn your phone sideways real quick? So people are saying that you're looking kind of funky on the screen right now. All right, thank you, man. So, I mean, obviously it's Super Bowl weekend. What does somebody like you, who's an ex-player, who obviously has love for the game, what do you plan for Super Bowl weekend?
Not much. I'm just going to sit and watch Super Bowl, eat food, have a couple of my favorite beverages, and that's about it. And watch Kansas City beat up on Tampa Bay. That's about it.
Oh, starting off hot. Just comes with the heat.
Starting off hot.
So, Herman, obviously the big talk around Detroit the past week has been the Matthew Stafford trade. You had an opportunity to play with some decent quarterbacks here. I wouldn't say you ever played with a super all-star quarterback. How do you feel that the Lions fared in this trade for Matthew Stafford, or trading Stafford?
All right, so some technical difficulties, but Herman will be back shortly. There he is. Herman, how are you?
Yeah, I'm back.
How do you feel about the Stafford trade, Herman?
With Stafford, I think a lot of people were concerned that the Lions weren't going to get anything for that trade, but I feel that it was pretty even. obviously, this is an opportunity for Matt to start his career. Not start it, but take his career to a different level. I think in a different place. Sometimes you can get a new start, you have a new team, and that gives you the ability to kind of jumpstart some things. For him, he's just had 12 great years in Michigan, but it can then you could be the piece that's missing for other teams. And with Jared Goff coming here, he's a younger player. The Lions could look to build more around him. I think they have a good core of young talent, but they still have to make some other picks to help make this team come full circle.
Now, I want to go a little bit away from Stafford. I want to go into one question I really have for you, Herman. And I know you see this right here. This is a familiar product to you. What do you think the Lions should do about Calvin Johnson as far as paying him his money back this week? He's up for Hall of Fame selection, and he's possibly going to go in on as a first ballot. Do you think the Lions should give him his money back? And second, do you think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Think we lost him again. You there, Herman?
Yep, I'm here.
And what is that?
All right. Go ahead, Corey. Ask that question one more time.
So, Herman, I was going to ask you, Calvin Johnson, he's up for Hall of Fame selection this weekend. He's going to know whether he's going to be in the Hall of Fame or not. Do you think that the Lions should go ahead and repay him the money that he's seeking? And second, the follow-up with that, do you feel that Calvin Johnson is a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Yeah, I think that they should definitely try and make amends there. And great player. He's considered second to Barry Sanders, or right up there with him as being the two best players to ever play for Detroit. And I think when you look at it, it was a petty thing that took place with the money, given the caliber of player that he has. When you look at how Matthew Stafford was sent off, you just wish that guys like Barry and Calvin, even myself to a lesser extent, we'd have an opportunity to have that same send-off without controversy, because this is a great moment for Calvin. I really believe that some are going to try and argue against why he should wait. It's always hard for a wide receiver to make it their first turn, unless you're like Jerry Rice, and your stats are just off the chart. But Calvin was a person who changed the game. I mean, he's a big guy. That they look for those that dominated the game, and he can check all those boxes. So I look for him to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and that'll be a great thing for him and a great thing, I think, for the team. But it'll come with a little bit of a taint to it.
Yeah, and that's the sad part, is like even when the Lions have great things, it seems like we don't treat them the way that we should be treating them. And I want to talk to you because we haven't been able to experience a playoff win in Detroit since you and your team won one. Can you just describe like the energy of a Detroit playoff win?
You really can't compare it, because it's only happened once, unfortunately, in the last 30 plus years or whatever. But it's one of those moments where you think that everything's possible, especially when you look at a Super Bowl. You look at the opportunity to go to the next level and be mentioned among those that have not just participated in a Super Bowl game, but have won one. And we came one game shy of that. The excitement that goes around just winning in general, it sets the bar, it sets an expectation that is a lot bigger than what we've seen in the culture here over the past years. I think with the Lions and everything that they're doing now with the coaching changes, and it seems like they're bringing in different people that are unlike what we've seen in the past be the type of choices that they look for. I think that excitement could come back. I don't think Ford Field will ever be like the Silverdome. I don't know if it ever have that magic, but at the same time, it was just an outstanding film.
Yeah, the Silverdome was an absolute madhouse. Like, I remember going there as a kid and just my eyes were open. There were beer being thrown everywhere, fights, and then just crazy great football on the field, and I miss that energy.
Hey, so Herman, I just wanted to ask you a quick question about your thoughts on Dan Campbell and biting a kneecap off. I mean, I feel like in recent years, I mean, this is like one of the best hype moments that we've had for a Lions organization where, as a fan, it makes us really excited because you don't see this out of our coaches in recent years?
No, I was just wondering if that was going to become a new menu item around the city. You get some kneecaps and some ankles. And then, do you want that seared or do you want it fried? You know what I mean? So it's like,
deep fried, always deep fried.
Yeah, I guess a deep be the next thing we do for Thanksgiving. So maybe they don't give out those turkey legs; they give out kneecaps and ankles. That's going to be a long one. That's going to be one that's going to be around for a while. But Coach Campbell, man, a lot of people are kind of mixed about the hire. Personally, I feel that he's got the components that you need. Someone that you really don't know what you're going to get. You just know he's played in some pretty successful systems. He coached and mentored under Sean Payton. You also know that he's put some other former players around him who are good players, Pro Bowlers, all pros and stuff like that. You know that in the front office, they have some people who really are spending some time and attention and have a track record of making certain picks and assembling certain types of players. Right now, I really like what's happened so far this offseason. I like the trade with Stafford. I like the fact that they've made these different changes upstairs that will affect a lot that takes place on the field. So there's a little bit of excitement, I think, and a buzz that you feel that's taking place because it's not the same old Lions. It's not the same old choices and decisions. So, but yet, they still have to take it to the field and win.
What do you think it is about what Dan Campbell said in that press conference that people outside of Detroit misunderstood? Because he caught a lot of flack from the national media, but in Detroit, it seems like it went over more well than it didn't. So what do you think about that?
One, I think he was nervous. That's one. It's a big stage. You're becoming a head coach of an NFL franchise. That's not something that's small and light. The other part of it was I think he probably thought about it too hard, and he wanted to make a bigger impression than needed to be made. People here have heard it all. It doesn't really matter what you say, so keep it short and sweet. They're going to judge you by the choices you make on the field, the way your players respond to your coaching style, and your wins and losses. That's it. I mean, anything else you say is just a soundbite.
So Dan Campbell is more of like a motivational coach, and some people were complaining that he wasn't an X's and O's guy. In your career, what would you rather play for? A rah-rah coach or a guy that can kill the X's and O's?
You need a mixture of both, but I'd rather have a coach that's going to let me play. He's going to let me know that I understand the game, allow me to grow, put people around me in terms of players, but also in the coaching staff that's going to add to helping me, just really harness and just really sharpen my tools. Other than that, we understand the X's and O's. If you can't be a starter in the NFL, and you should be out on the field if you don't understand execution and you don't understand X's and O's. That has nothing to do with the coach. The coach is just there to be an orchestrator. He's just there to just kind of make sure everybody's assembled right. He's making sure that the plays that we're going with and the strategy is being met. He's following a timeline during the game. He's following a playbook. That's all it is. Other than that, he can't help a player run faster, catch a pass, make a tackle, or anything like that. So it doesn't matter how smart he is. It doesn't matter how vocal he is. His job is done once we take to the field.
Now, Herman, the Lions have done one of the more impressive overhauls with their coaching staff, and one thing that really stuck out to me was the diversity that is now in the front office and on the coaching staff. And just like the Buccaneers, they're kind of similar to the Buccaneers by having a very diverse coaching staff. What do you think about the Lions' efforts to increase their diversity in the front office and on the field?
It's been good to see that they have added a little bit more diversity. It's long overdue. There's been a sprinkle here or there, but now I think there's still more to be done. I'm not going to sit and just say because there's been a few people in executive positions. I think that's an effect that needs to take place throughout the entire organization across the board. I've never been that as vocal about it, but you have to just kind of close your eyes and be blind to it to see that there's a bigger effort that can be made there. And that's not to go after the Lions as much as it is to encourage them to do more and to understand that there are a lot of talented people, a very diverse group of people that can add to the mix, and that you don't have to always keep going back to the same well.
I love it. We're speaking with Herman Moore right now. Obviously, he was on the last Lions team to win a playoff game, and so close to that Super Bowl, man, just so close. I remember being a kid, and I remember this story. Herman, you can confirm if it's true or not, but the night before or like the week before you guys played the Redskins, when the hotel you were staying at, like they served you guys some like soft Redskin potatoes to kind of like pump you up to show how soft the Redskins are, and then they fed them like tough lion meat. Was that true, or is that just something I heard as a kid?
I think you might have heard that as a kid, and you know, I don't, you know, the Redskin potatoes. I mean, I think it has a nice little ring to it. It sounds real good. You know, you know, got this lion meat, and then you got some Redskin potatoes and all that stuff. But you know, I don't know. I think I had just the pasta. You would think we would get better meals, man, as players. You think we'd have a pretty more. You talk about diversity. What about a better diverse menu? You know, why can't I have like some high end food before a game? I don't want pasta and sauce and maybe a steak. I mean, that's okay.
What was your pregame ritual? Like before you got ready for a playoff game, like what was your ritual? Obviously you had your meal. Did you know, spat up the cleats? Did you, like, what'd you do in the locker room?
I don't know, just kind of, my locker wasn't far from Barry. I know he and I were usually sleeping. And then we you know, you get that last rest because it calms you. A lot of people go like, well, what do you mean? They probably like, you know what, the Lions look like you were sleeping the whole way through the playoffs. But it's a way of calming this before the storm, right? And for me, I would listen to music. Usually it was Otis Redding or some type of real soulful music. And then I would go out on the field, get my stretch, get my warm up. And then from then on, it's all in complete total focus. That was kind of my thing. And the night before was always tough because it was hard to go to sleep. So I very seldom got a lot of sleep the night before a game.
Now, obviously, the closest you guys have been was that in 1992 NFC Championship game, which you guys lost to Washington. Was there a team that you were on, Lions roster that you were on, that you felt outside of that team was good enough to go all the way?
I think the 1995 team was definitely one. We unfortunately got off to a bad start, and I think if my memory serves me correct, we had to have a 7-game run to get into the playoffs. But we rolled into the playoffs pretty hot, only to get just destroyed by the Philadelphia Eagles because we had a disastrous first half and fell behind, and it was just a lead that we just could not regain control over. But outside of that, I mean, I think every year you're in the playoffs, we had 6 opportunities. All right, we had 6 opportunities to do
that. Man. So obviously you guys made it to the playoffs. What was the culture like back then for the Lions? Was there still this kind of chaos between upper management and like Wayne Fonts and you guys, or was it a cohesive unit back then that just kind of disintegrated over the past 30 years?
That's a good way of putting it. No, it was very cohesive. We were a very together unit. It was definitely family, and a lot of people didn't like the way Wayne Fonts coached, but he got the most out of us because he treated us like men. It was a good culture because we treat each other like brothers. We hung out, we spent time together. There were we had leadership within every unit, not just one leader amongst all of us. And then we had guys that we depended on to make sure that they were consistent every game. So you had your core guys that need to make sure they showed up and showed out every week. And then you had the other support players that really need to come in and just not make mistakes. They need to just be solid in what they did. And the coaches, again, just need to kind of get out of the way and let us go.
Earlier this week, former Steelers head coach Bill Cowher said that he never viewed the Detroit Lions as a tough team. And I just want to see, what are your thoughts about that comment?
It depends on the teams that he faced, because if he won against every Detroit Lion every team that he faced, then I guess he could make that case. But I think that would be tough to say about any NFL team, that every team's got the capability of beating you. And even those that are down and are and whatever at certain times in their career, there comes a chance that you can get beat. So it's not about whether or not you have to fear them. I think that's hard for a Lion fan or the organization to probably hear, because that tells you what people think about the organization, and it's choices of putting together a championship caliber team.
So let's get into the Super Bowl happening this weekend. I mean, you obviously alluded earlier that Kansas City's going to whoop that ass. But saying that, which quarterback, if you had to go into the Super Bowl, I guess, no, let me rephrase this. If you could be added to either team right now going into the Super Bowl, which team would you pick?
I have to go with Tampa Bay, because Brady has more of a control style. It depends on if a guy like Coach Ross or something like that was my coordinator or my coach, because he's not going to throw it to me down the field. So I need somebody who's going to throw me a more controlled pass and let me work in between the hashes right there a little bit, and work in the middle, work on the outside, and just chop it down the field.
How much do you think you would have blown up the league now that they can't hit you going over the middle compared to when you were playing and you would get lit up going over that middle?
I would be able to play till I was 43. The middle is a place I want to go. The thing is, what you earned your stripes by going over the middle. So that's where the players now are missing. It's cool that they're amassing all these yards, but you want to show how tough you were, and you want to show that you were really a fearless receiver. I think if you haven't shown that you're battle ready over the middle, I don't know, you got to be a different type of wide receiver. You can't be classified with the tough guys.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest difference between the wide receivers nowadays and the wide receivers when you were playing. It's similar to like the NBA, back in the Jordan era, where you could hand check, you could body check, you could tug on some guys and you could light them up over the middle. Now, these guys have no fear, because if somebody hits you hard, it's 15 more yards.
Yeah, it is, and I feel bad for the defensive players, because when you look at this, it's a strange rule, because you can tell that probably a majority of the time they're not trying to go and hit a defenseless player. They're not trying to. It's just instinct. It's something that you're taught all the way up through the NFL, and then you finally get to the apex of your career, and all of a sudden now everything you've been taught and how to tackle and how to go in, you really can't. Now some guys do target, yeah, you can see that clearly, but then there are others that are just trying to make a play, and to be flagged for that, it hurts your defensive side of the football.
So who do you got as your Super Bowl MVP?
Gosh, man, that's a tough one.
Right?
I'm going to go with Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
Oh.
That's what Joey picked.
Yeah, we agreed on one thing. I did not agree with you on the winner.
Why are you going Tyreek?
Yeah, I think he's gonna have some big plays. I think they're gonna try and contain him early, but they're gonna have to at some point go man, or they're gonna have to loosen up and go some type of a single zone coverage. And when they do that, I think he's just impossible to cover.
Yeah, he's just very fast, and the motion that they use him in, and just the way they pretty much split the field on this weird 90-degree angle route that they have him and Kelsey run. It really throws the defense through. It puts man defense under pressure, and it puts zone defense under pressure with that speed. Okay, so I guess let's get into it, man. Do you have a final score prediction? I know you think it's going to be a routing. What do you think the final score is going to be?
I picked 28-31, and I only made it by a field goal because I do think that the spread's going to hold, but I don't think that it's going to be a blowout type game. It could be, but I'm not feeling that. I think that there's too much control style that can take place on both sides, and I think there's going to be aggressive play when needed by both sides. So I think they're matched up very evenly. I like the defense on both sides. However, pass rush for Tampa is going to be a beast. But I think the offense for Kansas City is going to be a challenge for the secondary.
Hey, Herman, man, you got to talk to us about this Golden Grooming Company. My friend Germ, he think he did some work for you back in the day, and he gave me some stuff to use for my beard, trying to get it to come in. Talk to us a little bit about it.
But it looks like my stuff is spelling you, man. I don't see any hair on your face right there. Where's your beard hair?
Hey, pass that over. Pass that over, Corey.
I had to cut it off.
But tell us a little bit about it, Herman.
Get into manufacturing. We're doing a lot with entrepreneurship. We're going to grow a lot of companies and a lot of businesses this 2021 to help keep people not only employed but spawn a new era of entrepreneurial people. And Golden Grooming is a great cause from me to create a men's care product specifically for American men. But we have a lot of philanthropic efforts that we're putting behind it to make sure that you look good, you feel good, you do good. So that's kind of the model for that, and we got a lot more companies coming after that.
That's awesome, man. It's good to see you. That's one thing I love about a lot of the Detroit former players. Like, you stick around the area, and we kind of talked about this earlier in the week. Like Jared Goff coming from L.A., where you got paparazzi following you all around, and it's going to be a completely different experience where he's going to be able to go enjoy a meal here, and nobody's going to bother him. Is that kind of why you stuck around Detroit, or you just felt like, I love when people love this city? Why'd you stick around?
Well, because it's where I have all my connections. I came here when I was early 20s, and since then, this has really become home. Virginia, I still keep a home there. Recently just moved my mom here so that she could be here with my sister and I, and my sister and me. And so it's a place now that with myself, my family, it's home. And the people here have been nothing but special and exciting. The fan base has been wonderful. The business opportunities have been just overwhelming. And so I look to continue to be a part of the communities here and continue to bring just goodwill to those that have helped me and supported me throughout my career.
That's awesome, man. Well, I can't thank you enough for coming on with us this morning. You have a standing invite for whatever the hell you ever want to come on and talk about. You just let us know, and you got an open mic here at Woodward Sports, and we can't appreciate you enough. It's a childhood dream to talk to you. You guys were my idols, and, I know we're not that far apart in age, but I still, man, like those memories that you guys gave us, and I always try to say this to athletes when I meet them, is thank you for the memories, because that's beyond what you guys make in money and beyond the game that you guys play and fulfill yourself. Like, I hope you guys realize the memories that you're able to give other people, and like the bonding moments that I had with my dad watching you guys play. I wouldn't have had that without your greatness, so thank you.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thanks a lot. And I will make sure so we don't have the technical difficulties of people trying to call me because I'm doing this from my phone. That's probably what you were missing. But I want to make sure, and that's how my morning starts. There's a lot of people calling me all day, but I definitely want to come in. It's been a pleasure getting to know all you guys down there at Woodward. And I really look forward to coming down to the studio and shooting it up over there with you guys.
Hey, are you a betting man, Herman?
Oh, come on now. Of course.
All right, Herman. I've always wanted to do a bet against a star legend like you. I'm going 50 on the Bucks. You in?
50?
50 on, yeah. Hey, don't make fun of me for how little I put on it. But 50 on the Bucks. You doing it or no?
Hey, no. I was just trying to check if that was the over under or what we were doing here. So yeah, if we're going 50, we could do that. I'll take Kansas City.
Straight money line, all right? You got KC, so we're going to talk to you on Monday, all right? We're going to do a follow-up to this.
All right, but hold up. Listen, this day and age, I know the IRS is tough on people. I want you to pay me in nickels and dimes. I don't want all that,
okay,
or Bitcoin or something, man. You got to pay me in something that, I don't want to pay all that stuff you got.
Okay, cool. I'll make sure your bank teller is ready for you to go over there and get me all my quarters that I need once I win.
All right, you do that. Make sure they're in good rolls,
right,
too. Don't bring me that loose change.
Yeah, we don't do that. All right, so we'll talk on Monday, Herman.
There's a coin shortage, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Herman Moore. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Oakland University coach Greg Kampe is on the line. Lots of interviews today, so we'll be right back on the Woodward Sports Network.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Spinning him down and putting the ball in the 1. Second and goal, and short foul goes in for the touchdown.
What's up, Joy? Hey, Joy! Hey, Joy! Hey! Hey!
Hey, welcome back, Woodward Sports Network, and I am so proud to introduce this next guest, guys, because you know I am a Grizzly for life. I graduated 2015.
Go Grizzlies!
But this one hurts me a little bit, too, at the same time. We introduce the head coach of the men's basketball team at Oakland University, Coach Greg Kampe. Welcome. How are you today?
I'm good, man. How are you doing? What's the hurt for?
So you don't remember. You don't remember. And I'm going back about 8 years, Coach, when you and Coach Sadie Washington, who is now over at the University of Michigan, crushed this dream that I had of playing for the team, and you guys cut me.
Came to the walk-on, student walk-on thing that we have?
Yeah, you didn't have to say it like that. Just say, I was trying out for the team. I was getting scouted, something like that.
For a day, how's that?
What was that? Say that one more time.
So we put you on full scholarship, and then we just didn't have the money to support it, so we took it from you. Is that better?
Yeah, let's just blame COVID. I guess we could blame COVID, even though it didn't happen that many years ago. But no, I'm happy to have you on the show. I'm a proud Grizzly, and I know it's game day for you today, so I appreciate you hopping on the show. Got Cleveland State Vikings tonight at 7 o'clock, and we just wanted to talk about the recent news that we heard yesterday about Governor Whitmer coming out saying that the winter sports will continue, and I know you put out a message out there, so I wanted to talk about what this means to you.
Well, I'm really pleased that our leaders changed their mind and allowed high school athletes, both the men and the women, and all the sports, not just basketball, hockey, to start playing again. And as I said, I wrote a letter to her, and as I said in the letter, a year of this is enough. That these young people have really been affected by this. Now, we all have been affected by it, every one of us, and I get that. But, my players get their year back. People get stimulus checks. People are getting unemployment at a rate that they've never got before. But these kids get nothing. They lose the most formative years of their lives. And the athletics means so much to these kids, competing and playing on a team, and what they learn from that, the health benefits of it, the mental side of it, the ability to team build and learn how to compete in a society that they're going to have to grow into as they become the responsible citizens, where they're the ones that have their children and have to bring their children up. So all these formative years of growth and learning, they haven't gotten. And that's as important as their education. That's as important as anything else that goes on. And I just felt that, it was my duty to speak up and give an opinion. And I'm glad that she agreed with all the people that came and visited the Capitol last Sunday. And or Saturday, and we moved on, and now they're going to start playing. So I'm really, really happy about that.
Hey, Coach, it's Stick from Woodward Sports here, and my question to you, because you got a unique perspective on this as far as the recruiting goes, how has this affected you recruiting players from Michigan as opposed to players from out of state that have been able to play pretty much their whole season?
Well, Nate Oates at Alabama also wrote a letter, and he spoke to that in his letter, and you know, we're not. How do we recruit the state of Michigan when we can't watch them play, when we can't see them play, when they're not competing? Their growth between their junior and senior year is usually exponential, and we usually can tell by that time, you know, are they good enough to play at our level? But at any level, are they good enough? And, you know, there are a lot of athletes in Michigan that are going to miss out this year because of that. And on a side note, that really hurts in the sport of basketball. That really hurts a lot of African-American students, a lot of minority students who use basketball as a vehicle to get their college education. And they're missing out on that this year. There's going to be a group of people that don't get scholarships, don't get the ability to go to college because they didn't get to play.
Coach, in your position as a D1 head coach and with everything going on in Michigan, were you concerned about any pushback for you taking such a position publicly?
Well, you know, at my age, if you can't speak out for what you believe in and stand up for it, then I think we got a problem. I believe that I did it in a, you know, in my letter I wrote, the first thing I said is I'm not a scientist and I'm not a politician. And I'm just a guy that's been around for 43 years in the business that's going to speak his mind, and hopefully it was taken for that. I do think that the Let It Play movement in the state with all the kids that showed up at the Capitol and that, I thought that they proved that you can do this in an intelligent way, in a thoughtful, thought-provoking way, in a nonviolent way, and with all that's going on in the world today, I think I think it was a great thing, whether she allowed it to change or not. I think those people congregating, doing it the way they did it, the children that spoke at the rally, the parents that were there, the coaches that were there, I thought they did it in the way America should do these things. And I was really proud of all the student athletes that spoke and those people for doing it the proper way. But me personally, it's what I believe. You know, the state asked me, the State Coaches Association asked me to write that letter. I didn't write it for them. I wrote it for the kids, and I wrote it for myself because, as I said, it's what I believe. And you got to stand up for what you believe, and but you got to do it in the proper way.
Especially for you, Coach Kampe. I mean, with you being a coach to a college, to a university like Oakland University, people look up to you as that leader, you know, especially when you're dealing with high school athletes that transition into college. They look at you kind of as that father figure for them growing up. How do you see right now with your current freshman class? Because especially the ones in Michigan, and I know you have a few on the team, they were affected by their playoffs to end the season last year. So how are they all doing?
Well, you know, the mental health of our students, and not just the student athletes, of all the students at the university, you know, you would go back right now and go back to that tryout at our place again and prove me wrong if you could. We would all go.
Are you saying that I have open doors to come back and try out one more year?
You still have your eligibility?
I do. I have 4 years of eligibility still.
Oh, Joey, do it.
So you know, I would go back to college. I mean, it is those are the greatest times of your life. You don't, you know, for most kids, you don't have the stress and the worry of life. You have the chance to you know, live in a dorm or, you know, an apartment or get away from home for the first time and all these things that are going on. And now you walk our campus and it's a ghost town. You walk the University of Michigan's campus, Michigan State's campus. They're ghost towns. There's, you know how it is to park on a college campus. You can park anywhere you want right now. So it's, and my players with the COVID scare, so they can play, and what they have to go every day and get a swab up their nose. They have to stay away from people. I have that conversation with them every day. They've got about 30 days left where I don't want girlfriends. I don't want go to the store. I don't want them out. You're isolated. You go to your computer and do your schoolwork, and you come to practice. You get to the weight room, and so that is a tough life. It really is. Now, people will say, "Oh my, tough life. What do you mean?" For a college student, remember back when, it wasn't that long for you, but for me it was, 40 years ago. I know what I was doing back then, and they can't do any of that. They can't if they want to continue their season.
Coach, obviously Jalen Moore has been doing pretty good for your team this year. Can you talk about how Jalen Moore and Rashad Williams, how good have they been for your Grizzlies team this year?
Well, Jalen Moore is a special talent, and he's learning our system, and he's getting better. The COVID year has helped him because he gets the year over. And so he would be developing into this great player with only 1 year left. Now he's developing into this player with 2 more years. And so he's excited about that. We're all excited about that. But, yeah, he is going down the path of Kay Felder, Jonathan Jones, some of the great point guards that I've had. Rashad has had a funny year for him because he has a tear in his shooting shoulder. And I'm not smart enough to understand the terminology and the words that are in for that, but there's a muscle in there that's got a tear in it. And when the season's over, he's going to have surgery. So it depends on how he feels and how his shoulder feels on that days. Some days everything's going in, and some days he can't lift his shoulder above his head. So I just want to hug that kid every day because he's gutting it out and playing when he really doesn't have to. But he wants to win so badly, and again, this goes to, he knows that basketball is going to be over soon for him, so he wants to play as much as he can. And but that backcourt's really done well. We're turning into a pretty good team. We were a really young, inexperienced team, and we were behind 53-12 at halftime of our first game. And now, we've won 6 of our last 7 now. We're starting to really play good.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to the game today, taking on Cleveland State. Once again, this is Oakland University men's head basketball coach, Greg Kampe. Thanks so much for joining, and I'm looking forward to my 4 years of eligibility and trying out for the season next year.
Oh, you got that, man. Anytime you guys want, I'll come on the show. I had heard about the show, but now that I've seen it and been a part of it, you guys are doing a great job. It's awesome.
Thank you so much, Coach. We appreciate that. And you've done a great job at Oakland University, kind of establishing a new basketball school in Michigan out of nowhere before you got there, which is really great to see.
Especially look at the players, like we got Kendrick Nunn right now playing for the Miami Heat and a lot of great players. So that's something that I always rep proudly as being an Oakland University alumni.
Yeah, when he brought up Jonathan Jones, it kind of hurt because he beat St. Mary's in the state championship game at Breslin when Kalen Lucas and him were going head-to-head. But Jonathan Jones was a hell of a player. I got to give it up for Jonathan. Yep. When he said that name, I'm like, I just had flashbacks to Breslin. But thank you very much, Coach. We appreciate you.
My pleasure. And, Joey, you just made my day when you said we. I've been
Yep. Listen, that's one thing. I mean, I might have been cut from the basketball team, but it will always be we. I promise you.
All right, man.
Thank you, Coach. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's great just seeing leaders like Greg Kampe, Oakland University's head coach, and then the head coach of Michigan, Juwan Howard, really stepping out. And, Corey, that question was amazing about, just being the person you are, having to step out of their boundary to stand up for a topic that is somewhat considered political, which I don't understand.
Right.
I mean, it's an unpopular position that he's in, and he's a D1 coach, and that carries cachet. So for him to be vocal, whether it's taking speech or writing a letter, coming on the show, that speaks volumes.
Yep. Well, I mean, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. We'll talk a little more Super Bowl. We got Fish's Facts on the way in about 7 minutes. Dumbass of the Day coming up, and I cannot believe this show has flown by this morning. So let's take 15 more seconds, and we'll be right back to talk about Teddy Bruschi calling Matthew Stafford soft.
Morning, Art. Morning, D-Mac.
Oh, man. So, obviously, Super Bowl happening this Sunday. We haven't talked a ton about the Lions, but I definitely wanted to touch on this before the weekend. Teddy Bruschi, former Patriot, said the reason why Matthew Stafford did not want to go to the Patriots is because he's soft. He doesn't think he could be handled being coached hard like Tom Brady was over the past couple years. What do you think about Teddy Bruschi calling Matthew Stafford soft?
That's the lowest. That's the lowest biggest pile of BS I ever heard in quite some time. And I'm not even the biggest Stafford fan, but the guy is the definition of tough as nails. He's of the active QBs, he's the 9th most sacked, 22nd all time. He's been sacked 385 times. The Lions have not had a great offensive line for around Stafford, so he gets banged up and he still plays. I mean, and then just the definition of toughness. Rookie year, we can always go back to that Browns play. We can now go back to he's been banged up all year, and he really did not have to play the rest of the season, but he came back out of getting knocked out in what was that week? The game against the Bucks.
Right.
Could have mailed it in, said, no, I'm going to go ahead and play my last game as a Lion. He went ahead and went out there and showcased that. He probably didn't want to go to the Patriots because, well,
he just tried the Patriot way and it sucked.
He's had the Patriots hand-me-downs for 3 years, so why would I want to go over there where they have less talent?
Right.
And, oh, yeah, that guy, Matt Patricia's back over there.
This one really hurt me because I love Teddy Bruschi, and I always have throughout his career. But when you use the word soft, like that's one thing that you can't say about our quarterback, our former quarterback, is Matthew Stafford ain't soft. And especially a Teddy Bruschi isn't a soft guy, so he should recognize how tough he is on the field, because you could say he's not a winner because he hasn't won a playoff game. But when you use the word soft, I mean, a guy that dislocates his shoulder, pops it back into place, hops back on the field, leads the team to victory. I mean, there's a lot of just memories that we have with Matthew Stafford where he is not soft.
I just don't understand. First off, like you said, you can say somebody's not good. I don't see how you can say any person in the NFL is soft.
Well, he was talking about really his mental toughness and about how Tom Brady, for however long he was with the Patriots, was able to survive Bill Belichick. And here's the part of the quote that I thought was the ultimate smack to the face. He went to Sean McVay, his little best friend relationship. Go have fun over there. That's fine. And like, really, that's what he's saying. Like, listen, this guy doesn't want to put in the hard work it's going to take to be elite. He just wants to go play with his buddy in L.A.
Tom Brady.
It's a tough take.
Tom Brady left Bill Belichick. Is he soft now?
I don't know, man. According to Teddy Bruschi, Tom wasn't able to endure those times, so he's not soft. It actually made him rock hard.
I just think that is like, I sometimes, I'm not even gonna say sometimes, I hate a lot of times when former athletes just do these stupid ass hot takes just to get, you know, somebody talking about them. This is a dumb hot take, even if you don't like Stafford. You is mentally go through the crap that he went through as a Lion and stay here for 12 seasons. That is the ultimate definition of mental toughness.
This has pissed you off, hasn't it, Corey?
Because it's dumb. It's just dumb, and I'm not a Stafford fan. It's just like, when you say stupid stuff like that, you got to get raked over coals.
Okay. Yeah. No, we needed to talk about it, but obviously let's focus back on the Super Bowl. We got a couple minutes before Fish's Facts. What are you guys' Super Bowl plans? I mean, what are you doing?
So I'm in between two. So the in-law side is having a little something going on, and then I always watch for my brothers. I mean, that's just tradition for me. So I'm going to just be going, I don't know, I might do the halftime, but it's like you can't miss the halftime, but then at the same time, you can rewatch the halftime show.
Right. I've seen the weekend.
Yeah, right. So I'm going to just be hanging out, having some fun, eating some good food.
my fraternity brother, he's having a party. He sent everybody a form to make a COVID checklist form.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, he's a lawyer, so he made sure that everything was
trying to cover his ass. People signing waivers to go into his house.
And he literally yesterday during the show, he literally sent a waiver for us to sign.
What was
before
on this
coming.
waiver?
Just your simple your simple COVID. Have you been around anybody in the past 14 days? Have you experienced any symptoms?
What does that do? What does that like?
It covers his ass. Yeah, it covers his
How
ass.
does it cover his ass though? You can't sue someone because you went to a house party. You can sue
but
breaking
someone for
rules.
anything.
But it's like anywhere with the restaurants out right now, they have the contact tracing list. He has his contact tracing list of who's in his house.
So when you walk through the door, you're gonna have to put down your name, phone number, and like check the box.
Oh, he took our name, number, email address. And probably knowing him, he probably has a thermometer gun as soon as we come in there.
The temperature gun. Okay, that's okay. Have the temperature gun, but it's like, really? This
Yeah.
isn't gonna do. Businesses do this because as a business, they have to protect their name.
He's a lawyer. He knows the rules. He's gonna protect himself. That's what lawyers do.
This ain't a party at his office.
Hey.
This is at his house as an individual.
You can get sued anywhere, man. It doesn't matter. House, work, doesn't matter. You can get sued. And
Some
lawyers
girl's
know
done
this.
him dirty or something in his life.
Yeah, he's definitely had something done.
Hey,
are you going to that party though?
Oh yeah, I'm going.
Okay. Are you bringing your packets like the CDC recommended? You can't, share condiments, so you got to bring your packets.
And the clappers.
Yeah, and the clappers.
Don't make any noise. Don't sing too,
yell,
by the way.
Don't
No,
scream.
I'm not going that far. Nah.
All right. Well, I'm just going to hang out at my house. I think Art is going to come over. Maybe we'll do a small watch party on our Facebook Live. Haven't decided that yet because our studio is getting some construction work done. We can't do anything from the studio. So I'm going to be at my house on my couch just enjoying this game because I still don't know who's going to win.
Still?
No, I still don't know who's going to win. What
are you wanting?
What's your final prediction, Corey?
My prediction is just the score. I don't know who's going to win, but somebody's going to have the score is going to be 35-31. I just don't know who's going to win.
Wow.
All right, Joey, who do you got?
I got Bucks winning 27-24.
27-24 Bucks?
Yep.
All right, and then you got your $50 bet with Herman Moore.
Yeah, I got 50 with Herman Moore, and then Terry Foster is the other one that I'm going to have a call with late Sunday night.
Well, if you want to hear my pick, Sunday, 11 a.m., Anson and I, our last NFL pregame show of the year. That's when I'm going to give my picks on all the spreads and all that stuff, so make sure you're tuning in. And we'll probably try to give away $1,000 on Sunday, too, if you can guess who scores the first touchdown and the final score. We've been doing it all season. We've given it away 3 times. So Super Bowl Sunday, we got to do it again. 11 a.m., Anson and I will be on doing our Super Bowl show. We're about 1 minute behind from Fish's Facts. Adam, let's take 15 seconds, and we'll be right back with Fishy.
Hey, it's Joey from Woodward Sports, and I am here in downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys and ladies. This is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking Thorogood boots, best boots ever. They have barware. They got the Stormy Cromer hats. They got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15% off.
So 9:50, we bring in intern Fish, who is internationally known to rock a microphone, and he gives us Fish's Facts of the Day. What you got today, Fish?
Well, yesterday at around 2:50 p.m., I found a really good fact. Super excited to bring it on. 2 minutes later, I found out that it wasn't true.
Okay, so what do you got for us, buddy?
Excited. I don't have the source, but one of the articles I read said The Weeknd was going to perform, which that's a fact.
Yep.
But they said it was going to be 24 minutes.
A 24-minute halftime?
They said it was going to be the longest halftime show in Super Bowl history.
Sheesh.
And I looked up how long's the halftime show going to be, and many articles said 12 to 13.
Okay,
So I was bitterly disappointed.
Yeah, that is a long halftime. Like, what the hell are these guys going to do in the locker room for a half hour?
So, there are facts to this, though. Normally, they have it on the field.
Okay.
It is going to be set up in the stands.
Ooh.
They're going to have a stage in the stands.
I like that.
And there's normally 2,000 to 3,000 people who put this together. It's going to be 1,050.
1050?
Yeah,
Okay.
people who are going to be setting up the stage and, the drums and whatever that The Weeknd has.
And they're letting about 10,000 people into the stadium, too. So they must be clearing out a section, not letting people sit there.
22,000.
Oh,
yeah.
22,000. Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
So that's cool. So like, imagine being one of those fans, just walk over, say what up to The Weeknd.
Right. And then what are your prop bets?
Well, there are a bunch of them. So as you know, Florida is 100% opened. It's county-based, but they're 100% open, meaning you can do whatever you want. You can have 100% capacity in any restaurants and stuff. So will Tampa Bay have a curfew?
Ooh, no way.
No, they can't.
No way. If they win, actually, they put a curfew if they lose.
Yeah, 100%. You got to be in bed by 10 o'clock.
And then Tampa Bay, I don't know if you guys know about Tampa Bay, but it's basically on the water. So will they have a parade on the water?
Okay, nice. I like that.
Let's see. What color of Gatorade will the
That's always one of my favorite prop bets. I always go with orange. Orange is my favorite because that was my favorite growing up. Citrus cooler,
Orange
baby.
is your favorite?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Who doesn't like citrus cooler?
Me?
Listen, guys. If you're an honest bettor and you know what you're doing, you don't bet the popular colors because they're all being consumed during the game. You go for the colors that nobody drinks, so orange, yellow.
Right.
You don't bet on red, blue, or purple.
Yeah, it's always blue. I feel like it's always blue.
Is it?
I feel like it is.
Yeah, what are previous winners? I've honestly never paid
I'll have to go
close
back
attention.
and check, but I feel like blue is probably the biggest winner of them all. All right, Fish, you got one more prop bet in you?
So Jasmine Sullivan and Eric Church are singing the anthem.
Okay.
It's a very popular. Who will sing the first and last note? They're separate prop bets.
Jasmine Sullivan's got to lead it off. I can't see Eric Church leading it off, but I don't know. I'm going to go with Jasmine Sullivan on that. Joey, Eric Church, Jasmine Sullivan, who you got singing the first note of the national anthem?
I'm going to go with Sullivan.
Okay.
And then I have a dumbass of the day.
Oh, you're stealing Joey's thunder?
Okay.
No, we're coexisting.
Okay.
Found this yesterday. A commentator got fired from his job, not mid, after the game, for being late for calling the second half and saying he was taking a poo.
He got fired for pooping?
Yeah. He got fired for saying on the air that he was taking a poo.
That is hilarious.
That's awesome.
Why did he get fired for that? I mean, there's a book called Everybody Poops. It covers that.
Apparently the club did not like that he said that, and he was saying it was a lighthearted joke. But
Okay.
the club was not happy.
Got it. Joey, do you have a dumbass of the day?
I do, but I wanted to touch on the color of Gatorade's recent years. So orange is the winner since 2000. Five times it's been orange.
It's been orange?
The clear. There's 4 of them that were clear.
That's probably water.
Huh.
Yeah.
Clear.
I'm going to assume that's water.
You never heard
Clear.
of clear Gatorade?
No.
What is that, the white cherry? But that hasn't
Frost,
been around for that long.
right?
The Frost, and then None was another one at 4 of them. But yeah. So before I do my dumbass, I just wanted to give a quick little shout out to my people over at Northwestern Tech. You could check them out at northwesterntech.edu. It is the HVAC school that works, and I got to tell you, their 10.5-month program is something that would change your life. So if you're thinking about a new career, northwesterntech.edu. So for my dumbass of the day, there's a video that I want you to watch because a defendant tried to flirt with the South, of course, South Florida.
Florida,
It's always got to be Florida. Judge during his bond court appearance. He did not get very far in this. Listen to what he said.
Demetrius Lewis on page 26.
Just one hand.
How you doing? How you doing?
All right, I'm good, sir. How are you?
Good. Judge, you is so gorgeous, Miss Judge. I just have to tell you, you're gorgeous.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. All right, Mr. Lewis. Flattery will get you everywhere, but maybe not here. The court finds probable cause on count 1, burglary, occupied dwelling, unarmed. Count 2, possession of MDMA, ecstasy.
Oh, that's amazing. Judge, you is so gorgeous.
I love the virtual call, too. Just shooting his shot, man.
Hey, I mean, she wasn't a bad judge, if we're being honest here.
No.
So, yeah, I mean, he's not really a dumbass. He's more of a legend and a GOAT for just trying. But he ended up still getting locked up. So
Adam, can you put up the bed real quick so I can play the dumbass drop? Let's do this. Hit him with the dumbass.
You dumbass.
Dumbass. That was our dumbass of the day. Thank you for joining the Morning Woodward Show all week long. We really appreciate you. And everybody who's been here since the beginning, we appreciate you too for sharing, for liking, being with us on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook Live, and on YouTube. We love you. Make sure you slide over to YouTube and subscribe. We're really trying to build that page up, but it's going to be a big weekend, going to be a fun weekend, Super Bowl weekend. Be safe, have lots of fun, enjoy this game, and make sure you tune in not only today at 11 o'clock, but Sunday at 11 o'clock for our Super Bowl pregame.
I got to pick a winner real quick, too.
Oh, who's your winner, Joey?
We got to pick a winner. So if you share this post.
The share winner. Go ahead,
man.
You
share this post, you enter to win $100. So the winner is Coach Free. Franchise Stevie Freeman.
All right.
Is his name.
Yeah, you know him.
Oh,
it's Corey's frat brother.
Is it?
Nice.
That's awesome.
Well, tell him thanks for sharing, Corey. We appreciate that.
Thanks for sharing, Coach Free.
You got $100 coming your way. Thank you for waking up with the Woodward Sports Network. Baligian and Bell up next at 11.